Yo, what's good, Laker Nation? I need every single one of you to sit down for this one. I'm dead serious. Stop scrolling. Stop whatever you're doing. Put this on full screen and listen to me right now because I am about to tell you about the most incredible, most explosive, most shocking interview that has ever come out of the Los Angeles Lakers locker room. I was watching First Take this morning, just casually, expecting the usual Stephen A. Smith screaming about something. And then LeBron James appeared on the screen via satellite from the Lakers practice facility. And bro, what happened next was insane. LeBron James, at 41 years old in his 23rd NBA season, the all-time leading scorer in basketball history, looked directly into the camera and went to WAR. Not against the Oklahoma City Thunder, not against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, against Stephen A. Smith, against the media, against everyone who has been writing the Lakers off. And when I tell you that what he said is going to change the entire narrative of these playoffs, I am not exaggerating one single bit. Let me walk you through every single moment. Hey, what's up everyone? Real quick before we get into everything, that like button is literally what determines if this reaches hundreds or thousands of fans. Takes 1 second but makes a huge impact on the channel's growth. Just smash that like button right now. It's the easiest thing you can do, but honestly the biggest way to support this content. Every single like pushes this further, so hit it now. So here's the context. The Lakers just closed out the Houston Rockets in 6 games on Friday night, winning 98-78 in one of the most dominant closeout performances of the entire first round. LeBron led the way with 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, doing it on 10 of 25 shooting while also hitting 2 threes after going 0 for 9 from behind the arc in the previous 2 games combined. The defense was suffocating. Houston shot just 35% from the field and went 5 for 28 from 3. Reed Shepherd was 1 for 10 from deep. Rui Hachimura was unconscious, hitting 5 of 7 threes for 21 points. DeAndre Ayton dominated the boards with 16 rebounds. It was a total team effort. And for the first time since 2023, the Lakers are in the second round of the playoffs. But instead of celebrating, instead of giving this team credit, Stephen A. Smith spent the last 48 hours on First Take calling the Lakers' victory over Houston a golpe de sorte, a lucky punch. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the Lakers only won because Kevin Durant missed 5 out of 6 games with knee and ankle injuries. He said LeBron is a king without an army because Luka Dončić hasn't played a single minute of the playoffs with his grade 2 hamstring strain. He said the Lakers roster beyond LeBron is mediocre at best and that they're going to get swept by Oklahoma City. He literally called this team a castle of sand. And that is what set LeBron off. The interview started calmly enough. Stephen A. congratulated LeBron on closing out the Rockets and asked him how it felt. And LeBron gave that classic LeBron smile, the one where you can tell he's processing something behind his eyes. "It feels good, Stephen A," he said. "It feels real good. To be written off a few weeks ago and win a playoff series is a big deal. JJ Redick said it himself after the game, and he's right. Nobody gave us a chance." Then Stephen A., being Stephen A., couldn't help himself. He said something like, "But LeBron, you have to admit, without Luka, this team is extremely limited. How do you expect to compete with the defending champions without your best player?" And that's when LeBron's face shifted. His smile disappeared, his jaw clenched, and he leaned into the camera with an intensity that I have never seen from him in a media setting. "Stephen A., I heard everything you said this week, every single word. You called our win over Houston lucky. You said I'm a king without an army. You said our roster is mediocre. And you know what? I've been in this league for 23 years. I've heard it all. I've heard people say I'm done since I was 35. I've heard people say I can't win without a super team. I've heard every version of the LeBron James disrespect tour that you can imagine. But what you said this week, that crossed the line because you didn't just disrespect me, you disrespected my teammates, and I will not let that slide." The studio went completely quiet. Stephen A.'s eyes got wide. Bobby Marks, who was sitting next to him, physically scooted his chair back about 2 inches, and LeBron continued, his voice getting deeper and more measured with every sentence. "You want to talk about Luke Kennard? The man scored 27 points in Game 1, a career playoff high. He shot the lights out. He was one of the biggest reasons we took a 2-0 lead before Houston even knew what hit them. Luke Kennard has been incredible for us all series." And you're gonna sit there on your show and say nobody on this team can play. How about Marcus Smart? You know what Marcus did in game 2? He guarded Kevin Durant full court. He dove on the floor. He set the tone for the entire game. He finished with 25 points, 7 assists, and 5 steals. In game 3, he had 21 points, 10 assists, and 5 steals. That man has been a warrior for us. And you're gonna call him a supporting cast member on a mediocre roster? LeBron was getting louder now, and I could feel the emotion through the screen. And then there's Rui Hachimura. This man just dropped 21 points on 5 of 7 from 3 in a closeout game. He's shooting 58.6% from the three-point line in these playoffs. 58.6. That's not just good, that's historic. And DeAndre Ayton, he had 16 rebounds in game 6. He held Alperen Sengun to season-low numbers. He's been averaging 10.8 rebounds for the series. These are not mediocre players, Stephen A. These are champions in the making. And for you to sit on national television and dismiss them, that tells me everything I need to know about where your knowledge actually is. And then LeBron went somewhere that I did not expect. He started talking about the Luka Doncic situation, and bro, this is where things got real interesting. Everyone wants to talk about Luka, LeBron said. Shams is on TV saying Luka's not close to coming back. Windhorst is saying he hasn't even started 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 scrimmages. Every insider in the world is writing our obituary because Luka isn't playing. And you know what? Keep doing it. Keep writing those stories. Keep saying we can't win without him. Because I've been in this league long enough to know that the best weapon you can have is when people underestimate you. Then he paused. And this is the part that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. He looked directly into the camera and said, "I'm going to say this once, and I'm not going to say it again. You don't know what you don't know, and what I know, what this team knows, is something that nobody on the outside is going to find out until we're ready for them to find out. So keep talking, Stephen A. Keep writing, Shams. Keep reporting, Windhorst. Because while you're all out here talking, we're out here working, and when the time is right, the entire NBA is going to understand that they made a massive mistake counting out these Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I need to pause here and address what I think LeBron is hinting at, because if you read between the lines, and I've been covering LeBron long enough to know how his mind works, he's suggesting that the Luka situation isn't as hopeless as the media is making it seem. Windhorst said on Friday night that Luka is not close and hasn't begun scrimmaging. Karania said the expectation is Luka will be out to start the Thunder series, but LeBron's words, "You don't know what you don't know," that's not the language of a man who's accepted that his co-star is gone for the rest of the playoffs. That's the language of a man who knows something the rest of us don't. And if the Lakers have been deliberately keeping Luka's progress quiet to maintain a strategic advantage, to let Oklahoma City game plan as if Luka isn't coming back, and then he shows up in Game 3 or Game 4, that changes everything. But back to the interview. After the Luka comments, Stephen A. tried to redirect the conversation to the Thunder matchup. He asked LeBron how the Lakers plan to deal with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who averaged 33. 5 points in the regular season and just swept the Suns in the first round, scoring 37 points in Game 2 alone, and LeBron's response was cold, ice cold. Shai is great, LeBron said. I respect his game immensely. He's the MVP of this league for a reason. But let me remind people of something. In my career, I've faced the greatest players in the history of basketball in the playoffs. I faced Tim Duncan. I faced Kobe Bryant. I faced Kevin Durant. I faced Steph Curry. I faced the 73-win Warriors. And what happened? I won. Not every time, but I won when it mattered most. And at 41 years old, I just averaged 23.2 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 8.3 assists against the Rockets. I shot 45% from the field and 43% from 3 in our 4 wins. I had 28 points in a closeout game, so don't sit here and tell me that age is going to slow me down against Oklahoma City. I've been doing this my entire life, and the one thing I know is that playoff experience matters more than anything. Shai has 1 championship. I have 4. Then LeBron went after the Thunder in a way that was clearly designed to get in their heads. The Thunder beat us 4 times in the regular season, he said, by an average of 29 points. That's a fact. But here's what people don't understand about the regular season versus the playoffs. In the regular season, we had Luka and Austin Reeves in the same game as me exactly 1 time against OKC. And even then, Luka got hurt in that game. So when people cite those 4 losses, they're comparing a full-strength Thunder team against various depleted versions of the Lakers. That's not a fair comparison, and it's not going to be the same team they see on Tuesday night. He continued. And there's another factor that nobody's talking about. Jalen Williams got hurt in Game 2 against the Suns. Grade 1 hamstring strain. He missed the last 2 games of the first round. He only played 33 games this regular season because of injuries. So while everyone is talking about Luka being out, nobody's asking whether J-Dub is going to be a 100%. And if he's not, suddenly this Thunder team looks a lot more beatable than people think. The interview went to commercial, and I genuinely thought that was it. That LeBron had said everything he needed to say, but when they came back from break, he was even more fired up. And this is where he started talking about his teammates in a way that revealed some real tension inside the locker room. "I need to be honest about something," LeBron said. "And my teammates might not like this, but I'm gonna say it because I love them." When we went down 3-2 in the Houston series, after losing 2 straight games and watching the Rockets come back from a 0-3 hole, I looked around the locker room and I saw doubt. I saw it. In some of my guys' eyes, they were thinking, here we go again, we're about to blow a 3-0 lead. And I had to grab them, not physically, but mentally. I stood up in front of the whole team and I said, nobody in this room is allowed to lose confidence right now, not one person. Because if we lose this series, every single one of us is going to be remembered as the team that made history for the wrong reasons. And I am not going to let that happen, not in year 23. Not with everything I've put into this game. Then LeBron got specific, and this is the part that's going to generate the most conversation. Austin Reeves came back from his oblique injury in Game 5, and I could see he was tentative, LeBron said. He was hesitant. He came off the bench instead of starting, and his shot wasn't there yet. And I told him, straight to his face, AR, I need you. Not 80% of you, not cautious you, I need all of you. Because this team doesn't work without you at full capacity. And to his credit, in Game 6, Austin started, scored 15 points, attacked the rim, and played like the Austin Reeves we all know. But he's got to take another step against OKC. He averaged 23.3 points per game in the regular season. He was our second leading scorer, and I need that version of Austin, not the coming back from injury version. The Thunder are not the Rockets, they're the defending champions. And they will punish any weakness they see. LeBron also addressed the coaching situation with JJ Redick, and this was revealing. JJ has been outstanding, LeBron said. For a first-year head coach to win a playoff series, especially one that went 6 games with our best player injured, is remarkable. But I need to push him too, because the Thunder are gonna throw things at us that Houston never did. Shea and Chet Holmgren and their switch-heavy defense, that's a different animal. We can't just run pick and roll with me and Ayton and hope for the best. JJ knows this. He's one of the smartest basketball minds I've ever been around, but there's a difference between knowing something and executing it under pressure. He then revealed something from the Houston series. After Game 4, the game where we lost, and Ayton got ejected for the flagrant 2 on Sengun, I called a players-only meeting at midnight. Not the coaches, just the players. And I told them, if we blow a 3-0 lead, that's the only thing anyone will remember about any of us. And Rui stood up and said, I'm not going to let that happen. And Smart said, nobody in this room is allowed to quit. And from that moment, we went out and won games 5 and 6 by a combined 49 points. That's brotherhood. That's what Stephen A. will never understand from his desk. LeBron also addressed the coaching situation with JJ Redick, and this was more subtle but still significant. JJ has been outstanding, LeBron said. For a first-year head coach to win a playoff series, especially one that went 6 games with our best player injured, is remarkable. But I need to push him too, because the Thunder are going to throw things at us that Houston never did. Shea and Chet Holmgren and their switch-heavy defense, that's a different animal. And we need creative solutions. We can't just run pick and roll with me and Ayton and hope for the best. JJ knows this. He's one of the smartest basketball minds I've ever been around, but there's a difference between knowing something and executing it under pressure, and the pressure we're about to face is unlike anything this coaching staff has experienced. LeBron ended the interview with a message that was part threat, part promise, part declaration of war. To the Thunder, he said, looking dead at the camera, to Shea, to Chet, to Mark Daigneault, to the entire city of Oklahoma City, you swept the Suns. Congratulations. You've been resting for a week while we've been fighting for our lives. You're the 1 seed. You're the defending champions. The odds makers say you're gonna sweep us. Every analyst in the country is picking you, and I couldn't be happier about that because I have been counted out my entire career. I was counted out in 2012 against Boston. I was counted out in 2016 against Golden State down 3-1. I was counted out in 2020 in the bubble. And every single time, I proved people wrong. So here I am at 41 years old, walking into your building on Tuesday night without Luka, without any fear, and with the absolute certainty that we can beat you. Bet against me. I dare you. Because the king is not done. The king will never be done. And on Tuesday night, the king is coming for your crown. Let me give you my full analysis on what just happened. First, LeBron's defense of his teammates was not just motivational rhetoric. It was strategic messaging by publicly praising Kennard, Smart, Hachimura, Ayton, and Reeves. LeBron was doing 2 things. He was putting the world on notice that these guys are real contributors, not just filler around him. And he was sending a message to those players that he believes in them, which psychologically prepares them for the biggest games of their careers against the defending champions. Luke Kennard scored 27 in Game 1 and was huge all series. Marcus Smart was arguably the 2nd best player in the series with his defense and playmaking. Rui Hachimura shot 58.6% from 3 in the playoffs, which is absolutely absurd. And DeAndre Ayton locked down Sengun in the closeout game. These guys are not passengers. They proved it against Houston, and now LeBron is telling the world they can prove it again. Second, the Luka Doncic mystery is the biggest storyline of the entire second round. Doncic suffered his grade 2 hamstring strain on April 2nd against the Thunder. That's now 33 days ago. He flew to Europe for specialized injection treatments. Every report says he's not close, but LeBron's cryptic comments suggest otherwise. A grade 2 hamstring strain typically takes 3 to 6 weeks to heal. We're now past the 4-week mark. If the Lakers can steal a game or 2 against OKC and extend the series to 6 or 7 games, that timeline starts to align with a potential Doncic return in the later stages. And if Luka walks onto that court for a pivotal game against the team he was injured against, the psychological impact alone could be worth 10 points. Third, the Thunder are not invincible, and LeBron knows it. OKC swept Phoenix, but they lost Jalen Williams to a grade 1 hamstring strain in Game 2. Williams only played 33 games this season. AJ Mitchell stepped up, averaging 14.9 points as a starter and had 22 points in the closeout game. But Mitchell is not Williams, and if Williams isn't 100% for this series, the Thunder's depth takes a hit. Combine that with the fact that the Lakers have been battle-tested through a 6-game war with Houston, while OKC hasn't played a competitive game in over a week, and the gap might not be as wide as people think. The reality is this: the Lakers are massive underdogs. OKC went 4-0 against them in the regular season by an average of 29.3 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the league in clutch scoring. Chet Holmgren is an elite rim protector. The Thunder had the best record in the entire NBA. But LeBron James has made a career out of defying impossible odds. He's done it at 27. He's done it at 35. And now, at 41, he's telling the world he's going to do it again. Whether you believe him or not, one thing is absolutely certain. Tuesday night at the Paycom Center is going to be must-see television, because when LeBron James says, "Bet against me, I dare you," history has taught us that you should probably listen.